It's 2025, so let's dive into the 2025 year of the snake, but more specifically the year of the green or emerald wood snake. And in this video, what I'm going to do is break down the energies from my lens and from my inner knowing to share some of the underlying aspects that will rise up and how through the embracing of eruption to get up and out. The up is that very important element of that word, as more and more layers of the false falls away and more of the organic and the true genuine energies are revealed. So let's dive in. Welcome to 2025. Of course, this is the Gregorian calendar new year, but since this is sadly, because it's really an inorganic or false time structure, most of the world uses this, so let's go along with that. But regardless, a happy 2025 is in order. Now, I have had some exciting things happening on this side. I took a couple weeks off completely of digitalness land, and it was wonderful and beautiful during the winter solstice because I had an event that I did, a couple of them actually, one in person and the Wheel of the Year series that I was running, but also I have had this past week some fascinating, beautiful things already begin to churn, and so these energies are really playing out even in my own personal field. I just wanted to share the happy 2025, and regardless of what year it really is, because we don't really know, it's still an energy and a fresh renewal phase that we can enter. The Gregorian calendar, just to come back to that for a moment, it really is an unnatural way of working, and it's false time. And so we could say that there's real time and then there's a false time. And so many ancient cultures from around the world followed 13 months with 28 days in each of those months. The Mayan culture, Egyptians, Polynesians, many Native American tribes, and others around our world used a 13-month, 28-day system. And this is very intriguing because this feels very organic. This is more of the real time. So I'll get into more of that in some other content, but what I want to feel into with you today is tapping into the energies of 2025, discussing this upcoming framework that Chinese New Year uses in the Zodiac system and such. But interestingly, the Chinese ancient system, or even the calendar system that is used today, is actually intriguing because it's a lunar-solar calendar. It's based on the movements of both the moon and the sun. So it reflects more of these ancient Chinese concepts and workings, that time was more of a balance between yin and yang, and they are complementary forces. So that's beautiful, and that's why tapping into these kinds of energies tap into more of this ancient wisdom. So the Chinese New Year, as many of you already know, that is January 29th. So what begins is the year of the green wood snake, or the emerald wood snake, which lasts up through February 16th, 2026. So I'm Natalie Viglione. For any of you that are new to the channel, welcome. I am so glad that you're here. I'm so thankful for your support in this video. If you like this video, please do watch some other ones and give me feedback and let me know if you're vibing with the energies and there's resonance in our energies. And if you are a regular supporter, so thank you for watching this video, and hello to you. There's many ways that we can connect more deeply. Look at the description below for all the links. What I am here to do is my mission, my most highest desires, to help more and more starseeds get unstuck and to really brace this disruption that is happening, that's going on both within and without, as things of the false structures fall away from within us, as well as what we see happening without. This is disruption for the good of all, because we can get up and out of these old energies and back to the core of truth, nature, and knowledge. And so I'm here to illuminate your quest to reclaim your power, heal deeply on all levels, layers, and step confidently onto your sacred soul's path. And I'm working and serving as a master herbalist. I am in training, and I'm also a certified flower essence alchemist, and I'm a certified root cause protocol consultant, which really delves into the deepest reasons why humans and animals get and are so sick. And this is stemmed from my own journey, which you can learn about more. So see the links below and see the ways that I can be of service. So after a couple of weeks off, I spent the past 7 days in a lot of meditation at night to really tap into these energies. And I did 7 days of prayer and meditation with monks. And it was a global event series that was just really amazing, because you really got to tap into some deep quiet and deep stillness. And so the energies are shifting from the emerald wood dragon of 2024 into the emerald wood snake. So the dragon and the snake, these are powerful, powerful energies. And the underlying emerald wood dragon throughout the year of 2024 was a year of aligning to really the true, genuine dragon essence, the dragon consciousness, the dragon elements that are real, and that energy is actually rising in our realm. So last year was a very powerful year, and the dragon mainly contains earth as an energetic force. And so the year 2024 brought in energies of earth, water, and wood. And the wood aspect of 2024 helped the fire to burn. So you can see how the wood energy melded with the dragon brought forth a more powerful forging, is what I would say. And so in 2024, what we found for all that are really tapping into these energies, these sacred energies that are rising, even if we just tap into what really happened, even from your own framework or your own experience, 2024 brought a lot of energies of courage and strength. It was a call for the inner union to begin on a much more massive level. There was also massive transformation in all ways. And I would say there was an overarching theme for many of us that was really about forging through fire. And this could be looked at as forging through fire of growth and expansion. It could be trials and tribulations. There's a lot of ways to look at that word forge. So I look at it as the great and the sacred fire of transformation. And there's a lot of ways that transformation can happen. Now, when I see this through the looking glass of the one known as Bridget, goddess Bridget, known as the goddess of the forge, among many other things, in this context, the forge symbolizes transformation, creation, and the mastery of craft. So you can see that video that I put together for last year and just look and feel into the vibrations of the energies in which I spoke of to see how did this really translate into my life. But then you can also look at it from a much more expansive level collectively. So many of us crafted much, forged much through massive transformation last year in 2024. So I'll give you a quick example. Somehow, I'm still kind of reeling from how, but I forged through continuing my major workings with the Master Herbalism Mentorship, which is many years, to get all these aspects learned and taken into my being. And then, of course, it's going to take the rest of my lifetime to let this all soak in, because it's quite, a powerful practice when you bring in all the energies of what that looks like. But also, I got certified as a root cause protocol consultant as well. So while also running my missions, or people could say businesses, and yes, there's more than one. My husband and I also had moved last year, and we're also building our sanctuary on our beautiful land. We're building our home. So we had many shifts with our little fur babies, and it was a year of, it'll go down in the books. It has already been down in the books, especially as I spent these past 7 days in meditation and really looking at things and really feeling into things. It was like the one word that really came out is, oh, whew. And that was the overarching thing. Whew. Sometimes I wonder, you can wonder how there's such an ability to forge. And what it is, it's really when you're tapping into infinite wisdom, it brings a lot of support in. And sometimes it can be powerfully shocking as to all the things that can be done. But it also takes much healing work to know how to bring in the right things into the body to be able to sustain that said forging of fire. So more on that another time, because there's going to be a lot more healing health insights that come through this year from me. So now we're going to be moving into the year of Emerald Wood Snake. Now, you could say green, but when I envision this and I get that vision, it's really bringing through that same emerald energy of last year. That it's the emerald sacred heart, the emerald sacred heart of the mother consciousness, the mother energy that's rising, the divine feminine that's rising. And this really moves into the serpent energy, the serpent, the snake, the serpent of rebirthing through divine feminine energies. And some time ago, years ago, I did a storytelling event. Okay, maybe you could use the boring words and it was a webinar, it was a masterclass, whatever, but it was a storytelling event. And it was all about the divine feminine energies. And so much of that is beautiful to talk about right now. Because the serpent is about transformation, or the snake, we could say, even has many layers. So there's a literal shedding as part of the innate and natural process. The serpent is transformational life force, rebirth energies. In a way, we could think of this as moving from forging or from action and then moving into flow. Or we could break this down by looking at more of these energies of divine masculine moving into more of a divine feminine, the yang energies into the yin energies. And it's vital to just remind ourselves that the divine feminine does not mean female. The masculine and feminine sacred energies do not have these genders attached to them. So these are energies, and these energies must be harmonized both within the very sacred lands of our earth, and it is realigning and realigning literally as I speak these words, even into her energy body, the Mother Earth's body, in as much as that it has to be, that must be harmonized in us all as well. And so that is the energy of the inner sacred union. It's the hieroskamos, and that must take place for vibrational layers to be able to vibrate higher and really connect in with it and actually connect into the higher waves of conscious light energy. The higher waves of conscious light energy is technically what fifth dimensional energies mean. And higher waves of conscious light energy signatures that we can pull and tap into. Of course, it's much higher than that we can tap into. But when people speak of 5D, which happens all the time, often I hear this being spoken of in the wrong way. We are not in 5D. That is not how that works. It's being able to pull through when you match with the vibrational waves. When you can match that frequency, that is how you tap into higher consciousness, waves of light. So we are moving from more action and moving into more flow in this year of 2025. And if we feel into that for a moment, we'll find that the energies really come in with almost like a softer approach. The way that I was seeing this through meditation is it's like whispering instead of yelling. And a lot of energies felt like they were yelling last year in many ways. That's part of this forging and action. The dragon energy that was saying, forge now, create, take action, move. And so in, of course, Chinese practices, this is yin. This is the more delicate, the more flowing energy. And delicate in this context, again, is not a delicate female. That is not what this is about. This is about a more delicate form of energy. And so since you're watching this video, I know you felt this all last year. It was like breaking us open on all layers and levels. In fact, that time frame of May, June, July, or you could even look at it as even from March to April, May, June, all in that time frame, there was a lot of powerful energies of grief that were coming through. Many of us were healing literal eons of grief, eons of our conscious energies that have had to watch humanity and all of this organic beauty of this realm be squashed by really vile energies. And so knowing that there's this time of reclamation is here. And so it's breaking open that heart, breaking open these levels and layers of emotion that need to be let go of. And so by breaking open, we broke up out of shells, and it's literally, I envision this cracking open. So the more of the breaking up and the out, that is still to come, by the way. But the organic energies of the past year were really powerful in that way. And of course, when I say past year, I'm speaking 2024. So it was also a very powerful time of the breaking open of Earth too, breaking down more and more of the vile, the falsities, seeing more into the lies, seeing more into the manipulations, and we're going to continue to see that more and more. This being that we call Earth is being liberated, just as we're being liberated by being able to unveil more and more. So the serpent, or the snake energy in its organic form, is connected with the concept of regeneration, connected into the concept of the underworld. They're connected into the concept of healing power, spirituality. So snakes are very graceful creatures, and they shed their skin when they have outgrown it. So you can think of the breaking open and the breaking up as literally shedding skin, shedding layers. And then in this year, actually knowing what we've outgrown and allowing to shed the skin of what no longer serves. So it's not just a coincidence. One of the biggest villains in the book that we call the Bible was made to be this snake. Now, when you think about this, the serpent has stood as a tried and true form of the divine feminine, the serpent equating to this divine feminine energy. And the making a snake the most vile energy, it's what that really did is it's trying to justify invasions and massacres of humans that lived close to the earth, the humans that lived in oneness, where there was harmony in the magic and what it felt like to live in a balanced realm, where the feminine and the masculine are balanced and harmonized. So in many ways, the snake had to be portrayed or was adjusted to seem to be an evil character and a symbol of this ultimate evil. That's an intriguing point to bring up because there is the inverted snake, of which I'm speaking to, and then there's the divine feminine serpent. So what we're going to see this year is the divine feminine serpent. But as we watch this anti-unity framework that's often been called a patriarchal system, but see, the anti-unity really is anti-Christ, or that's what has been said in religious contexts. And so at the core of the anti-unity framework is a divide and conquer strategy. And so we will watch how war, aggression, ego, materialism, and all of that is just going to break down more and more as we enter 2025 and as we fly further into what we perceive as the future. But of course, many of us know that it is an eternal now, so these moments are happening really simultaneously. But again, the snake or the serpent in the former or primordial meanings and representations were of the divine feminine. Also, it's very much a healing symbol, or a symbol of healing, I should say. And so throughout time, the serpent has been closely associated with shamanic energies. Now, shamanic really just means healing energies at the core. We could break down that etymology, but let's just say the healing energies. And so we can see this actually portrayed in many cultures all over the world throughout time, and going back mostly, of course, into ancient times. For example, the Inca shaman actually calls on the primal feminine energy to assist with healing and transformation. So again, it's this serpent, this primal energy of the divine feminine energy that is utilized in healing practices. So 2025 is going to be, again, a huge year for further divine feminine energy to rise faster or further, or to become more expansive. And that's going to be a very important moment, a very critical time for healing. So you see, the earth and humans and animals are connected as one. So healing will be required on more and more, or I would say on all vibrational layers. So I have some important details that are going to be coming out about healing our bodies, really tapping into this root cause protocol aspect in the institute and certification that I took last year, because it's critical. It's been critical for my healing, and I could go into a lot of details, but that'll have to happen another day. But it's 2025 going to be a lot about healing ourselves further, helping our fur babies heal. How can we help the earth heal? Taking more preventative measures to bring more vital life force energy, or chi, into the body and into the bodies of, again, our fur babies too. And I do one-to-one vibrational medicine guidance sessions, so you can see more on that below. And so what we can begin to see, and what we'll begin to feel when we utilize and leverage the energies that are coming in, so that we can do more of the work that we're here to do, in the ways of, again, working with the sacred energies, working with the energies of the emerald wood snake in 2025. And when we do that, we can be enlivened. I think this is a beautiful word, enliven, because I feel that this is the word that can lead 2025. And of course, should we be in touch with the sacred and organic energies? And there's also much plasmic energies coming in, enhancing the energy already that's within us. And this is why this vibrational medicine work is so powerful, because as we feel into the organic energies that are truly rising, coming in through the sacred lands, coming in from the sun, what we must realize is that the most critical importance aspect of healing is actually upgrading our vibrations. That was a big key theme from the 7 days of meditation with the monks that came through, is about the upgrading, and through the upgrading of vibrations is the changing of vibrations within us into the new octave. And what we're doing is we're mirroring Earth, as Mother Earth is bringing more and more of the upgraded vibrations into the new octave, and the shifting and the changes. That is going to be actually what we already have been experiencing, which we will experience more. So it's moving out of third density into a fourth density, we could say. The density is shifting, less dense, and pulling fifth dimensional and higher consciousness waves of light in. So you have a less dense and more higher vibrational conscious light energy coming in from that fifth dimensional and above aspect. So you can imagine what it takes to change and what that actual shift is. It's massive. It's more than massive. And so you can imagine what our Earth is going through. You can imagine what we are going through with Earth. Everybody. The plants, the animals, everything. Of course, including humans. The divine feminine energy is going to bring more and pouring more of that energy into our sacred heart. And as I've seen in visions, this energy continues. As I've talked about in many videos through the past year, that energy is exactly the energy that's healing the lands, and it's cleansing and happening deep, deep in vibrational layers of the earth, in the astral layers of the earth as well. So it's a cleansing literally of the earth inside out. This is exactly what we must be doing as well, to be able to match the vibrational shift and changes. So when there's not the correct cleansing and purging activities happening, many people are getting sick. So more on that another time. So the yin energy and this emerald wood meanings of the year of the snake. In the Chinese framework of Feng Shui, the time cycle, which is very interesting, the time cycle from 2024 to 2043 is what they call a period 9, and it's a time of fire. So the cycle is dominated by the fire element, and again, that's 2024 to 2043. And that fire aspect symbolizes transformation, change, and that matches exactly the emerald wood dragon energies of 2024. Again, if you watch my video that I put out back in January of this time in 2024. So this was seen on every layer and every level last year. And so we can begin to formalize with this awareness that there will be many years to come that is serving in the forging energy, the serving in the fire energy. And so this means great change. And this is what I call the disrupting the status quo energies, because the status quo of what is in the now and what has been must be completely ripped away, must be completely torn down, and a whole rebirthing of transformation must happen. We must shed the skin of what no longer serves on all levels and all layers. We must individually shed all that does not vibrate with the higher good of all, and then also do the same collectively. So there's going to be great power when we look at the need. We must have strategy. And within that strategy, we must have patience. This was one of the biggest learnings of last year that was so necessary and is going to be so much more necessary moving into this year. And because even with a strategy, there must be this underpinning of flow, aka intuition. My husband and I are learning that greatly with this project of building our sanctuary, building our home, getting our land. Wow. So by focusing in and melding the yin energy, which is, again, this yin energy is like a calm, subtle, very introspective, while also, because we have this wood aspect, it's also, and also just the nature of divine feminine energy is this quiet strength. There is such fierce energy in the divine feminine. This is often not talked about, I don't believe, as much as it should be. But it's about making subtle adjustments, doing very careful planning, getting very hyper focused. So that's what 2025 is. It's a year of refinement of what you forged in 2024. So it's a forging into flow, forge and flow, which, by the way, is a container my husband and I are creating. So more on that to come. And so many of us forged so much in 2024. So now we just have to get super hyper focused. It's not about overhauling. Overhauling is not 2025. Hyper focus is 2025. Wood energy, when you add that into this mix and into this layer, it's strength, it's growth, it's melding with a deeper connection to nature. It's inner wellness, inner strength. And when you mix the wood energy in the energy of the yin or in the energy of divine feminine, it's about flowing. So we could say flowing in strength. So the strength in the 2025 year, from my lens, is very much mixing with an undercurrent that is also about rebelling against the status quo. Being able to be ready to stand and challenge the status quo. And this is that strength component, that strength flowing into that readiness, and also finding courage in our sacred hearts to do, because to break down and rebirth, it must take the ability to stand at the ready. So the green color, the emerald aspect with the yin-wood snake energy, so we meld that together. What we're really melding this with the green ray. Green ray is our heart. It's truly the sacred heart, the heart behind the heart. This is where renewal and revival, growth, a profound love comes from. So when we serve the greater good, we're working from our heart space. We are not working from a power space, meaning to take control, manipulate, and lie, like we see so much today, and we are instead serving from our heart. So when we really mix together all these aspects, I feel that there's a very large offering and a potential to heal through regeneration. And this regeneration and this service through the heart is not only at the individual level, but it's also the collective energies. For any of us, all of us that are running our sacred missions, we must ground ourselves very firmly in the principles and the strengths and the hyper focus, and reach also at the same time. What's going to happen is moving into these uncharted territories. So it's a very fine line to balance when we hyper focus, yet also have to remain open from the heart for the flow. So as there's going to be so many continuous changes, the solar light coming in from our sun, from soul, coming in more and more into our realm, intensifying this great shift and this evolution, it's really going to help assist in the incineration of the old, getting rid of the dead energy through fire. And so all the stagnant, all that energy, the no longer needed energy, is going to require so much of letting go, letting go of identities, looking at what no longer serves, dropping the layers that need to be burned by fire, so that there is space and clarity for new aspects to grow and rise. Because clarity really must have space to be able to open to new energies or new elements that need to be created. Now, there is another side of the snake, and there are some things to watch out for. I think that we need to be very aware of the true energies. You can look at this as there's this inverted idea or concept of snake, right? You have the divine feminine healing serpent, and then you have the kind of feeling of the slimy snake. Of course, you always would hear things like the slimy, snaky salesman, right? That is an energy to be on the lookout for. The slimy, snaky, icky salesman. And that is really the inverted form of the snake. So the ones that are really the negative inversions of the meaning of the divine feminine serpent. And you could say that there's a brotherhood of snakes, of that inverted slimy, and these are the ones that cast low magic. We could say, of course, many people say black magic. I don't use that term. I say evil, vile, or low, because it's using very low frequencies. But I'm speaking more truly about the evil side of that magic, and this is what I'm talking about. That's the other side. You have healing energies, and then you have energies that want to completely strip away health. Very different. So there are many posers, this brotherhood, and many of them are serving as like they're coming in as quote-unquote saviors, but they're acting directly against all forms of divine human virtues. They don't have integrity, they don't have truth, they don't have humility. And so we have to really be aware to see that very clearly, because there is that side of this energy. And many of us that are holding codes of the true unity consciousness or Christ consciousness, Christos consciousness, whatever way we want to look at that, I like to see it as more of just the unified consciousness field. We're carrying the missions on from other timelines so that we can we're doing what we have needed to do. But what we're going to see is more of the vile ones trying to inflict the same wounds of a time before. This is a big one right here. So the reharmonizing of this world is ultimately truly about the guardians of the unity consciousness, who are really assisting in bringing in this, the original, the organic blueprint of the core realms. The core realms also stated as inner realms or heavenly realms, however you want to look at it. So it's going to be a very visceral feeling when we see these anti-human hijackers that are continuously trying to force their vile plans onto this world. Again, this one is the biggest one. Oil and water are not going to mix anymore. And so we're going to see a very big separation between those of us who carry the codes to bring into place the organic and living creation, organic, versus the inorganic machines, the anti-unity consciousness, which is really what turned into Antichrist. Antichrist is really anti-unity, because that energy is really vying for a world without unity. And as the massive astrological shifts keep happening, so when we look at the true sidereal cosmology throughout this year, which we'll go on journeys with, and of course there's many beautiful people putting out great information around sidereal and true sky cosmology, but what is truly happening is, even with the slimy side of the inverted snake energy versus the divine feminine serpent healing energy, what's truly taking place regardless, it's a dawn of a new humanity that's rising from the ashes of what is falling away right before our eyes. But it's also falling away from within us. So we're going to feel it literally falling away from within us, and also falling from the without. So we must be swift like a serpent to strike down the falsity so that we can help carve out more space for the organic energies to thrive once again. And that we will do. And I'd like to call out just a couple videos that I created that kind of blend perfectly with this overall concept that you may enjoy watching. So one was a live stream that I did called Purification in Progress, Rising to the Energies of the Higher Consciousness Trajectory We're On. And then the other one is The End Times, Ignites the Divine Human, once again through a galactic shift. And human, it has a big emphasis on HU, harmonic universe. May we reclaim the true sovereignty through the energies of liberation, through the codes of the sun and the reconnection to the seven suns, which I'm going to be touching on at another time. Remembering the divine feminine and the fact that the mother energy, the universal energy, is coming in so strongly. Remembering that divine in humans, and remembering that we are divine human, so that we can reclaim what was known at one time and just feel that in our field once again, and feel into the truth that 2025 can be an empowering year driven by the ability of us having these hyper-focused energies while we stay in flow, building through strength and courage, opening our hearts to all that is possible this time and beyond, seeing, of course, the lies and the liars and the manipulators for who they truly are. But we are able to call them out. We see what they're doing. We turn the other way and we build anew anyway. Thank you for watching. So if you like this video, please remember to subscribe. And you can subscribe to my list below. There's a lot of ways to connect. And please do share this content with other like-hearted, sacred-hearted souls so that we can all awaken to the organic and original divine magic together once again.